Hello everyone. In residential status, today we will see the different and new method of tax, calculating the tax for the ordinary resident, resident but not ordinary resident, and non-resident. So this is the table. The 5 point you have to remember in this table. First, you have to make table for 4 columns: particulars, ordinary resident, non-ordinary resident, and non-resident. Then this is the table of taxability, that who is eligible for the taxable income, which income is taxable for ordinary resident, which income is taxable for non-resident. We have to see according to this table, and we have to calculate the taxable income for all three residential status. So this table is very important to understand this method. First, income received or deemed to be received in India, whether earned in India or elsewhere. Now you have to understand that any income which you receive in India, whether you have earned in India or not, but if you receive any income in India, that income is taxable for three of residential status. For every residential status, this income is taxable. Yes means taxable. Okay. Then second income is income accrues or arises or is deemed to accrue or arise in India, whether received in India or elsewhere. In simple terms, income earned in India. If any income you earn in India, or you are deemed to be receive that income in India, whether you received it in India or you receive it foreign, it doesn't matter. But if this income you are earning in India, then also this income will be taxable for everyone, for ordinary resident also, for resident but not ordinary resident also, and for non-resident also. Mainly you have to remember that if you are earning in India, it is taxable for all. If you are receiving any income in India, then also it is taxable for all. Okay. Then number 3 is income which accrues or arise outside India and received outside India from business controlled from India. Means if you are earning an income, or if you are receiving an income to outside of India, but the business is controlled from India, then that income is taxable for ordinary resident and non-ordinary resident both, but that will not taxable for non-residents. Okay. Number 4 we will take later on. Number 5, income which accrues or arise outside India and received outside India during the years preceding the previous years and remitted to India during the previous year. Means if you are going out of India, you are earning before the previous years, whatever you earn before the previous year, you collect that money and you remitted that money in India in previous year, then that income will not taxable for all. Means it is tax free. Okay. So we have seen 3 things. First, any income you earn in India or you receive in India, that is taxable for all. Any income which you are earning whatever you are earning from outside, but the business is controlled in India or from India, then it is taxable for resident and ordinary resident both. But it is non-taxable, means it is tax-free for non-resident. Okay. Then any income which you are earning or collecting or receiving from before previous year and you remitted in India in the previous year, it is tax free for all. Other than these four things, first, to second, third, and fifth, other than these four things, whichever is remaining income, that comes into number four. Here it is mentioned that income which accrues or arise outside India from any other source, that is taxable for ordinary resident only. It is tax free for non-resident and non-resident both. Okay, so be careful for reminding this table, repeat it, understand it very thoroughly so that you can easily calculate the sum. Now let's see the sum. Shri Janardhan Company, Janardhan Furnish. Here we are having the information of Mr. Janardhan, and we have to find out his income, his taxable income for the financial year 2018-19. It means the previous year 2018-19. So the assessment year will be 2019-20. Clear? We have to find the taxable income for these all three cases. First, if he is an ordinary resident, if he is a resident but not ordinary resident, and if he is non-resident. We have to make the table. Okay, so let's make one table. We have to make the table like this. Taxable income statement of Sri Janardhan for the previous year 2018-19. We have to make the table of 4 columns: particulars, ordinary resident, resident, and non-resident. Then from the amount we will calculate which income is taxable and which is non-taxable. So let's start the sum. First, income from agriculture land situated. First income given is income from agriculture land situated outside of India, received there, later on remitted to India. Means we have to check four things. We have to check four things. It is earned in India? No. It is received in India? No. It is then remitted in India. It is not received in India. Okay. So first, second, no. For our third point is we receive income from business which is controlled in India, but it is also not there. So means number 3 is also not there. Number 5 is also not there. So this will come into number 4. So it is taxable for only ordinary resident. Okay. So 24,25,000 we will write it only in ordinary resident. For resident and non-resident it is tax free. So we will write down dash. Clear? Rent from house property situated outside India deposited in foreign bank. This is also, we go for 4 check, right? It is earned in India? No. It is received in India? No, because deposited in foreign bank. Okay. And even house property is also situated in out of India. So it is not earned in India, it is not received in India, the business is also not controlled from India, and it is not remitted in India in this previous year. So this will also come into under fourth one. Fourth one is for ordinary resident only, it is taxable. The rest of 2 will be non-taxable, tax-free. Okay. So 13,60,000 we will write down in the ordinary resident column only. Then third is profit of a foreign business which is controlled from India. 20 lakh is received for the first time in India. Means we have to understand one thing very clearly. This 20 lakh we are receiving in India, right? So any an income which we receive in India, it is taxable for all. Means this 20 lakh is taxable for all. Okay, got it? Taxable for all, 20 lakh. But here the income is 40 lakh. And what it is told, that profit of foreign business, which is controlled from India, which is controlled from India. And we are very much know that any business which we controlled from India, that is taxable for ordinary resident and resident both. So this 40 lakh total amount will be taxable for both. But for non-residents, which amount we received in India, that is also taxable. So 20 lakh is taxable for all, and other 20 lakh is taxable for only for ordinary resident and resident. So this we will do 40 lakh for ordinary resident and resident, and non-resident it is 20 lakh. Clear? Then next point is interest on foreign securities, of which 1/4 has become due but not yet received. Balance of interest is directly received in India. 1/4 is due. So that due is not taxable for all. It is taxable for only ordinary resident. But whole thing is taxable for only ordinary resident. But the due amount is not taxable for resident and non-resident. So 1,28,000 whole amount is taxable for ordinary resident. But for resident and non-resident, only 3/4 amount. Only 3/4 amount is taxable. And the 3/4 amount of 1,28,000 is 96,000. Then the next point is dividend on shares of Indian companies received directly outside India. Dividend of Indian companies share is totally tax free for all, so it will not come into our list. Then number 6 is profit from an Indian business in Mumbai which is managed from abroad. See, profit from business. Business is where? In Mumbai. It is controlled from Mumbai or not, it doesn't matter. But we are earning in India. So whatever we earn in India, it is taxable for all. So 15,39,000 is taxable for 3 of these cases. For all. Okay. So this profit from Indian business is taxable for all. Number 7 is profit on sale of a plot of land situated in India. Land is in India, which is acquired for construction of residential house. Entire sale proceed 5 lakhs, but received outside India is 3 lakhs. Now the income we earn from India. Okay, because land is situated in India, so whenever we sell, we are earning in India, so it is taxable for all. Whatever the procedure or amount of sale, but we received 3 lakh only, so we will write down 3 lakh rupees in each column. Okay. Then pension from a former Indian employer received outside India. Whether we received outside on India or in India, but the income is from a former Indian employer. Employer means our former company, in which company we have worked in the previous years. That is our Indian company, so we are earning in India. So any income we earn in India, it is taxable for all. So 4,50,000 is taxable for all. 9 point is income received outside India during 2017-18 is brought to India during the current year. Before previous year, see our previous year is 2018-19. Before previous year, we have earned 2,50,000 and we are remitting it in current year. So this 2,50,000 is tax free. It is our point number 5. Then here the information is finished. So then we have to do the total for each column, and that total will be our total taxable income. In the case of ordinary resident, this income is 1,02,02,000. For resident, it is 63,85,000, and for non-resident also it is 63,85,000. be very clear about this. If you remember this, you can easily calculate this sum. So I again repeated it. This table first point is any income we receive in India, it is taxable for all. The second point, any income we earn in India, that is taxable for all. Any income which we are earning from outside India, but the business is controlled in India, it is taxable for ordinary resident and resident. It is tax free for non-resident. Okay. And then number 4 we will see later on, but number 5 is any income we earn before previous year and we bring it in previous year in India, that is tax free for all. Other than these 4 points, these 3 and the last one, any income will come in the number 4, and that is only taxable for ordinary resident, and it is tax free for resident and non-resident. Okay. So please remind it very carefully and try to solve this kind of other sums also. Okay. So this is the last method of our residential status. Do practice with your example also, and if you find any difficulty, please let me know. Thank you.